Hello, my name is Daniel Jake Edwards. I'm a second year music education major at the University of South Florida. Today, I will be talking to you about proper rehearsal etiquette. This can mean a variety of different things, so I want to make it simple. Um, First, one of the most very important things is to make sure you arrive early, at least 15 minutes early, or enough time to get both your instrument out and warm up. There's nothing more awkward than shuffling through a crowd of seated musicians in the middle of a piece. I mean, if you're late, which I get, it happens. Try to avoid taking your seat while the musicians are playing. If you can, wait for an appropriate break in the action to slip in. Second, come prepared. Now this means two things. Come having thoroughly practiced your music. Nothing is more frustrating to conductors and to other players than wasting time rehearsing passages that the ensemble members didn't have practiced ahead of time. Second, before you head to rehearsal, double check that you have your music, your instrument, your bow, your reeds, or anything necessary that you might need. Be sure to note whether or not you need to bring your own stand to rehearsal, or you'd be scrambling without one. You might also consider keeping a stand in your car, just in case. Third, bring a pencil. Attending rehearsals without a pencil is like sitting through an entire university lecture without taking a single note. Even if you think you're able to remember every direction that the conductor gives, every dynamic change, every cut, every ritardando, really you probably won't. Um, Keep a couple pencils in your instrument case just so you always have one on hand because that's very crucial. Fourth, be courteous to your colleagues. Position yourself so both you and your stand partner, if you have one, have enough arm and leg room that you can see the music comfortably. Don't be afraid to ask people around you or behind you if they can see the conductor, and so you have to move a little bit. I mean, I'm 6'7". I have to always be courteous of people around me and make sure they can see the conductor because it happens. I'm in the way a lot of times. Um, so fifth, don't tune too loudly. When you're tuning, you don't want it to be some big monumental look at my sound. You want to tune it as soft and as responsible as possible, so other people can tune as well because that's what you're there for. Sixth, don't chat. If you need to communicate something to your stand partner or to the person right next to you, do this inconspicuously and quietly. Save personal conversations for break time. It's that simple. Just don't talk when you're not supposed to. But at the same time, don't be afraid to ask questions, or approach your section leader or first chair during the break, or raise your hand with an appropriate question for the conductor for any clarifications on any notes or anything. Um, so next would be don't tap your feet. The conductor is there to keep time. I want to emphasize don't. It's okay to keep your own time. Make sure it's in time with the conductor. Um, don't tap your feet too loudly to where you're in the most quiet section of the piece that you're playing, and all you hear is it's just not good. You don't want to hear that. You want to hear the silence because that's what makes the music worthwhile. Um, the next the next rehearsal etiquette tip is a really big one. It's leave your arrogance at home. Members of the ensemble are all equal. Everyone is contributing. Don't gloat if you have a solo, and don't bust it out. Any personal solo concertos or performance pieces, just to show off. Everyone will be annoyed rather than impressed. Also, don't practice any other person's solos in the ensemble to demonstrate that you can play it better than them. I know. Some people in high school do that. Just don't do that. They all got it for a reason, and we respect that. Next, if at all possible, don't miss any rehearsals leading up to the concert. It is a sign of disrespect to both the conductor and your ensemble members if you prioritize getting, your nails done over working as hard as everyone else in preparation to your performance. Be careful not to double book yourself. If you agreed to play a performance, don't back out if you get another gig, even if it pays better. It's bad form, and you may lose the opportunity to play with the initial ensemble again if the director deems you, say, flaky. Next, I'd say treat your music with kindness. At COVID right now, a lot of us are going to, electronic music due to like iPads and stuff like that. But as we're returning to normal, a lot of the sheet music will be rented or borrowed from our library. I'd say only write with markings lightly with pencil, so that next player that might have it doesn't have to painfully scrub off markings with a massive rubber eraser. Try not to bend or tear the pages. Keep the music in a protective folder to keep it from getting crinkled in transit. Next is a big issue. Don't wear perfume or cologne. You'd be surprised how many people are actually allergic or irritated by it. Next, turn off your phone. I shouldn't have to say anymore. Your phone, unless you're getting an important call or something like that, just turn it off. Turn it on silent. Put it down. I keep my phone on my music stand, and with a tuner, and that allows me to see what intervals that I need to fix, any tuning problems that I have. My high F is always really, really sharp, so it's good to have that visual representation, but make sure it's silent or turned off. Stop when the conductor stops. If you keep playing, it's a sign that you're not paying attention. Also, don't noodle around or practice while the conductor is talking. Personal practice or group rehearsals are two separate activities. Just follow the instructor, follow the conductor. Don't eat during rehearsal. Bottles of water with lids, something like this, is okay. But don't eat, because most times eating is, for one, a distraction, and for two, can be very harmful to your instrument. As a euphonium player, any debris that might be left in our mouth, even though we think, whitewash it down with water, it can still get an instrument and tarnish the insides, ruin the sound, stuff like that. I would say don't question the conductor or treat him or her with disrespect. Trust their artistic direction. Don't argue with the conductor, or you'll likely find yourself packing up and sent on your way. Oftentimes, the director is the director for a reason. They know what they're talking about. Especially at the collegiate level, we have mostly doctors running our ensembles. They've been through the ringer. They've got their education. They know what that needs to be done. Same thing on the high school level. Oftentimes, they're going to be people that have went to college for this, spent all their time and money, so they know what needs to be done and what makes an ensemble sound good. So just don't question them when it comes to like artistic direction and stuff like that. I'd say the next thing that I want to talk about is don't complain about where you sit. Even if you have seating auditions, or you think you can play better than someone, I'd say graciously accept your position. Just because you sit in the back doesn't mean that you're not the most valuable. You're not a valuable player. In fact, being in the group to begin with is a privilege in itself. But don't hesitate to practice your tail off in preparation for the next seating audition. Lastly, I want to leave you with this. Enjoy the music. Don't take rehearsal so seriously that you lose your connection with the piece or with your instrument. This should be fun. Playing music in an ensemble is a real treat, especially with COVID going on. We all get this sense of value that comes with playing our instrument. Don't forget that you're taking part in a meaningful cultural tradition that will amaze your audience. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps.